All right, wow, that was amazing. Fury versus Usyk is in the books, and it was everything I could have, wanted from this fight. It lived up to the hype. It had everything you could have wanted. It was a chess match, but it was also a brawl, and it was back and forth. And both guys had to kind of go through their own adversities in this fight. It had everything. It was everything, and it was just super satisfying as a fight fan to watch. Now, going into this fight, there was a lot of questions specifically on the Fury side about where is he physically and mentally, especially after that Ngannou loss. It really, Fury's stock went down in terms of just like the optics of him. People really had a lot of questions. Is he at this level still? There's just a lot of uncertainty around Fury at that moment in time. But in this fight, he showed that he's still on that level. And one thing that we saw leading up to this fight with Fury was the big body change, right? Cutting a lot of weight, looking, a lot leaner. And, people had mixed opinions about that. And it was interesting because Fury's, former, nutritionist and guy that, works with Fury on his body with the food that he eats and all that stuff, he's not working with him in this fight now. And he had some, negative things to say about what he was seeing from Fury. He's like, why are you eating less food? And still, he's basically complaining about what Fury is doing and saying that what Fury was doing was wrong.
Tyson was talking about his weight loss, and he mentioned a different nutritionist. He actually threw some questions my way, but the interview has now come and gone. He says, biggest thing I would ask him is, losing weight means you're at a deficit. You're using more calories than you're intaking. As a heavyweight, that is literally the dumbest thing you can do. Why did he think it was a good idea to do this? You can totally use my name and say George thinks this was stupid.
For a lot of this fight, I thought Fury looked really good, and it was more so the mental mistakes and errors defensively, that obviously, we know, costed him the fight. Nonetheless, it was super close, and both guys showed up in the biggest stage, and that's all you can ask for. Now, going into the fight, starting with the walkout, I thought their walkouts were kind of indicative of course, their personality and, what we saw from them in the fight. Usyk, stone cold, just walking through. That outfit was incredible. He looked sharp on the nail right from the get-go. And then we get Fury doing his usual, fun, upbeat kind of thing. I thought the I Need a Hero song was a great choice. It sounded fantastic. He was jumpy. He looked happy to be there, but also ready to go, right? He seemed energetic and riled up. Now we get to the first couple of rounds, and Usyk's looking good, right? He's landing the power shots. He's getting inside easily with Fury. He's walking him down, and Fury hasn't really found his range in that moment. But then after that, Fury found his range. He was picking his shots. He was landing on Usyk, and he was really getting comfortable and getting more and more and more momentum as the fight was progressing, and Usyk seemed like the opposite. And right before and leading up to the halfway mark, Fury was landing some good shots on Usyk, even hurt him a little bit, had him a little wobbled, right? But obviously he didn't jump on him at that point. He was being patient. He took his time, but Usyk was hurt at that point, and it seemed like everything was kind of just gradually going downhill for Usyk. At this moment in time, I'm thinking, is Fury just going to cruise his way to a victory here? Obviously, I knew Usyk, especially in the later rounds, he has the ability to come back and have big moments, but I'm just questioning it now. I'm like, man, it's like another round, Fury wins, another round, Fury wins. Like, when is Usyk going to find his moment? When is he going to find that rhythm and catch Fury? Because although Fury looked phenomenal, you could see that there were vulnerabilities there for Usyk to take advantage of. It was just a matter of if he was going to do it and when. But then slowly but surely, Usyk is clawing his way back. He's finding his moments. He's landing some good shots, but it's just not enough right now. But then the first big moment for Usyk happens. He pops Fury's nose, and you can see him constantly touch it after, and it's bleeding. And now you see the momentum start to swing. And then finally, he catches Fury with a bomb, and the ropes save Fury from falling straight away. He literally goes down on the ropes, pops right back up, and then Usyk is bang, bang, bang again and again and again. And it's just like Tyson Fury, how much damage, how many shots can he take before he falls? And he's not falling. He's eating. He's on chicken legs. The ropes are saving him from falling. He's just bouncing off different ropes, going there, then there, then there, then there. And I'm like, oh my God, when is it going to drop? When is it going to fall? When's the ref going to go for the 8 count? And then finally the ref stops and says, okay, we got to give him an 8 count. And I thought that was a great decision by the ref. I know a lot of people were saying that the ref should have stopped the fight and it should have been over right then and there when Usyk wobbled Fury bad and had him bouncing around the ropes like that. But for me, I'm like, this is a championship fight. We've seen what Fury can go through before. It's not like, we've seen, obviously that was really bad to see Fury like that, but we've seen him come back from massive adversity to just stop the fight right away like that. I thought would have been wrong, right? I thought the ref doing the 8 count was a great decision in that moment. I don't think they should have stopped the fight, especially with a championship fight, the way it was going. Fury had a lot of momentum, and then Usyk finally has his big moment. I don't think it would have been right if they stopped it then and there. I think the 8 count was the right decision. Now, could the ref have done the 8 count a little earlier? Of course, but I still have no problem with him doing it when he did it. And then we go into the next round, and it seemed like Usyk right away wanted to take advantage of the damage that he did last round. But he could see that Fury wasn't going away, quickly. So he's like, let me preserve my energy. At least that's what it seemed. He wanted to preserve that energy, for the later rounds. And he does a lot of good work in the later rounds. And then we move on, and Usyk is again landing big shots on Fury, and he is just eating it. He is just taking it and like, all right, let's go. And the heart that Tyson Fury has, even to this day, is just insane after all the wars he had with Deontay Wilder, then the Ngannou moment. And they say like the chin is the first thing to go. And for him to be that badly hurt and then in the later rounds get cracked again and still be standing is just insane. And then we go into the final round, and this is why I was saying I was fine with the ref not ending the fight and just doing the 8 count in that moment, because now we're in the last round and both these men are swinging and banging and landing big shots on each other back and forth. This is why these guys got heart. These guys have an insane mentality. They are built different, right? And we saw that in that last round, the heart that they had, the ferocity they had to just go back and forth with each other to finish that fight. And it was just phenomenal. And it was just perfect, right? It ended so beautifully. To have both those guys ended in that fashion was just like, when you're watching it, when I was watching it, I was like, this is just amazing. This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what you want for this caliber of a fight. Anticipation-wise, the matchup-wise, everything. This is how you want it to go. Now, after the fight, when I was watching live, I would have been fine with either guy winning. I don't think it was heavily into Usyk or heavily into Fury. Both guys had a lot of rounds. Both guys had big moments. Obviously, Usyk had the biggest moment of the fight, but that doesn't mean that he was by and far away scoring-wise. In terms of the scoring, at least like watching it live, I was like, yo, this is close. This could go either way. And it's crazy because, especially with big fights like this, a lot of times something goes wrong, whether it's a reffing thing or a judging thing, something has to happen to kind of sour it, right? Unless it's a clean finish. And the judges' scorecards, I thought were fair, were more than fair. Even the one that had it for Fury had it by 1 point. And I think that's fair. The one that had it for Usyk was by 1 and then 2 points. So I think the judging was great in this fight. Now, it was interesting because after the fight, Fury said he would have went even harder if his corner told him, yo, you're down. You need this round. But after watching that round 12, I was like, both these guys went back and forth. They both went at it, right? It both seemed like they wanted that round. So I don't see, him, going for the knockout. I don't know if that would have happened if he was told. That being said, telling him that he's up by a lot in a very close fight was probably the wrong move. And now in regards to Fury saying that he should have won the fight, I actually have no problem with him saying that. When a fight is that close and it's literally between 1 or 2 points, obviously Usyk had the big moment of the fight, but the fight overall was so close. I have no problem with Fury saying that because it was very close. He did win on one judge's scorecard, and I thought that scorecard was fair. It wasn't anything crazy. But then Fury makes the comment about the judges favoring Usyk because of what's going on in his country, and to me, that was completely wrong. That was just dumb. First of all, it's dumb, and it's dead wrong. You admit the fight was close. All the judges' scorecards were between 1 or 2 points, right? I think it was all fair. So for you to say that is just disrespectful to him, yourself, the sport, and it's just demeaning the other guy. You say on one hand, oh, I don't want to make excuses, but then you literally just make some excuse that has no validity to it. You can say that you think you won because you do have a case to say that, but then to say that as a reason, the judges and them favoring him for that reason, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. And then Usyk, on the other hand, pure class as usual. And it was crazy because apparently he got sent to the hospital because he had a broken jaw. And now you think about the context, man, when did he break his jaw? And then the fact that he had a broken jaw and then was able to come back and then hurt Fury even more than what Fury did to him? Madness. Major props to Usyk. He is one of one. And speaking of one of one, in terms of the pound for pound list, you even have Terrence Crawford being like, I think we gotta give it to Usyk, right? And a lot of people are talking about that. You talk about pound for pound. Usyk to me is like the definition of a pound for pound fighter, right? How could he not be? And then in regards to the rematch before the fight, I was like, man, I don't want them to announce, at least just don't announce the rematch right away because it kind of takes away from the moment for the winner of this fight and kind of the stakes of this fight. But after what we saw and how close it was, I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with it. Give us a rematch. I think if there's a fight where it's like, I want to see a rematch, like that was a perfect situation to be like, and we're going to do this again. It was just back and forth. It was close. So many ups and downs, roller coaster of a battle. And it makes perfect sense to do the rematch. I think if it was super one-sided, then I would have been like, man, now we got to do a rematch. It's kind of like, it just takes away from the moment a little bit. But because of how close it was, it's like, all right, I think everybody would be salivating to see that matchup again. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the event, on the fight, who you guys thought won, the judging, the controversy, whatever the case is. Just let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.